Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin, see kind of what's going on with this bad boy, and help understand if we're back on track or not. Okay, now if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade, and this is truly my passion, and hopefully we can teach you a thing or two here today. If you want a more in-depth, deeper dive, I have a trading academy rolling out month end, trading community, of course, where we all learn, grow together, and I actually send out signals for every single trade that I take: day trades, swing trades, and investment trades. So all good stuff there. Check that out if you can, but let's just go ahead and get in here to Bitcoin, see what's going on. And ultimately, we can see, obviously, we've got a nice green day here today, okay? Now that's all well and good. I don't want to, kind of rain on the parade, so to speak, but we're not out of the woods yet, right? So just to be realistic with you, it is nice to see a slight increase here from Bitcoin. I mean, from bottom to top, that is about a 4%, overall increase, and that's not bad, right? That's allowing a lot of stimulation in the market. Most coins right now are up 5, 10, 15, 20%, okay? So we're seeing that I like to call it a knee-jerk reaction, where the price just recovers involuntarily or at an extreme rate of 2, 3, or 4x, so to speak, because a lot of coins have been held down for so long. Now, Bitcoin does look like it's ready to take off. We can see these large candle wicks. The price cannot seem to pass 40,500 as a round number, but we got to be realistic in the fact that we got some news tomorrow, CPI data. We need to respect the fact that that could influence the price action either negative or positive, right? We don't truly know how it's going to react. Commonly, we're going to see a price decrease or perhaps even a bull trap, and the price comes back down. There's a lot of strange manipulation that occurs on key level events like this, but just know that that's on the horizon tomorrow. And as a community, we're kind of sitting on the sidelines. We have some money set aside to ensure we buy the dip if it happens. If not, we'll figure it out and we'll get back in the market, right? But tomorrow's, I would say, is probably an important thing. There's a few other meetings later in this month here, of course, so I don't think we're out of the woods entirely, but Bitcoin has shown higher highs and higher lows on a very short-term time frame, the 1 hour, okay? So some positive stuff there. We've also got this here as well, the Bitcoin entity adjusted dormancy flow. Now, this is essentially, a ratio of current market capitalization and annualized dormancy. Translation is the fact that it's expressed in the US dollars, and the indicator can be used to determine the bottom of the Bitcoin price when the price is below 250,000. Okay, so the easy way to understand this, I would say, is like it's like a large term time frame of relative strength index. That's kind of the way that I conceptualize it, because it's extremely oversold, right? There's no other way around it. Price is really low. Keep this in mind though. Just because we're touching that 250,000 mark, that level, so to speak, doesn't mean we're in the clear yet, right? Now, this is causing a lot of dissipation for fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market right now, which is good. It's not a bad thing. But keep this in mind, back in 2019, the price continued much lower, and that caused a significant problem in the sense that people probably thought that we were in the woods, out of the woods, so to speak, and in the clear, and it continued to go down lower. So I just want to be realistic in the sense that, yes, the likelihood of it going much lower is fairly low, but I do think 37.5 is still a probability if we see another retracement from Bitcoin. So I just don't want you to get too overhyped for something along this lines here, because yes, it looks good on the short term, but we're still not out of the woods yet. We want to close the 1 day chart first of all above 43,000. Over 43,000 will be an important step in the right direction. But ultimately, we need to cross 44,400 and more specifically, break the plane of 46,000 before I feel very confident about Bitcoin being back on track. Because it's done this to us before, and ultimately we got screwed over pretty big. Like, in other words, right back here, if you recall, December 20th through the 25th, that was a nice little week, right? Higher highs and higher lows. All the altcoins are taking off, feeling good. We hit this resistance pressure right around 51,000, and the price just continued to come back down ever since, right? Strong sell-offs. Of course, there were some fundamental catalysts that caused that price to retrace, don't get me wrong. It wasn't just out of nowhere, but we literally have very little going for us with Bitcoin right now. There's no reason for the price just to shoot straight up. Yes, it's destined to do so. It's been held down for some time, but we got to also respect the fact that, hey, we're not out of the clear yet. We need to see significant confirmation, and ultimately, 49,000 would be even better to get that true realistic understanding. So let's go ahead and see what the technical charts are telling us and what that means, because this is reflected on the RSI right now. Yes, the RSI is coming back up, and it was close to 30, but we're still well below 50, right? Until we get back up over 50, which should be right around 46,000, maybe even higher, then we're not going to be considered to be bullish at all. Okay, so we're still in bear town right now. So just please understand that and don't get too ahead of yourself in that regard, right? We also have a potential bullish convergence on the MACD. That is, it's nice. It's a little sentiment, so to speak, consolation, but I'm not truly convinced yet, okay? So again, just keep that in mind, not trying to concern you at all. I just don't want you to go all in and feel regret when the price comes back down and breaks the key level support of 40,500. I don't want to see that from anyone. Again, the likelihood of that happening is literally 50-50 right now. Like, we're on a razor's edge. The price could come down lower. It's showing a lot of weakness. Today, we see a lot of strength based on the fact that we have that metric that came out and that, what is it? The entity adjusted dormancy flow. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well, but that is essentially, something that came out and that's giving a lot of confidence. But keep in mind, this could be the confidence the bears are looking for. So the whales can essentially take all that profit and sell it, because a lot of money is coming from alternate, just unique exchanges, so to speak, or cold storage, so to speak. And in that sense, that's kind of concerning, me in the big picture, that we might see a sell off because a lot of Bitcoin's coming out of nowhere. In fact, there's also coins going away from exchanges to their own private wallets, and it's kind of a head scratcher, right? Again, just something to understand. All right, let's go ahead and finish this analysis here. Looking at the moving averages here, this is another concern, of course, that we need to be aware of, and the simple fact that we should and could expect to see this death cross come to fruition in the next couple of days. It looks like probably sometime by Friday, again, depending on the price action, we could see that come to fruition. Now, notoriously, the price goes down because of this. I would say it's probably only about a 60% likelihood. It's more likely than not, but it's not a foolproof 100% thing. So just be aware that that could potentially cause the price to come down. That is not necessarily a good sign, traditionally speaking. Also note on the 4-hour chart as well, we can see that the moving averages are working their way down. The 50 is potentially getting tested here soon. Okay, so the 50 is coming down to intersect with the 43,000. That is not necessarily a great sign. That's a key level resistance. So we will need some type of strong push. And what we also want to have is like, a lot of short leverage right here, and then get that short squeeze to push to the upside. That would be ultimately what we're looking for. So if you see a lot of short accumulation, in fact, I think I have that pulled up. There is a lot of short accumulation, especially on Bybit and Bitfinex. So this is good in a sense, because the fact that everyone's thinking the price is going to reverse and come back down from that resistance, right? But it's also good in the sense that if we get that short squeeze and the price breaks through that resistance plane, then the price will come up inevitably a lot faster. Okay, so we like to see a lot of short position leverage open, essentially to allow for that price to kind of get pushed up. But the fact that a lot of those leverage positions are open is causing the price to come down as well. Okay, so it's an interesting thing. It's kind of and a lot of stuff happens in the back end that you don't even notice, and it's important to pay attention. So taking a look here at the RSI, taking a look obviously at the 50. If we see the price break above the 50 on the RSI, that's a good sign. Okay, so this, the midterm is basically telling us we're potentially bullish, because again, we're up over this resistance plane of 42,200. So 42.2 is essentially a major support level potentially now. And I say potentially because you see what happened previously, right? Broke above, came right back down. Okay, so just because the price breaks above a key level resistance for a short time frame, just say 4 hours or less, doesn't mean it's broken. The one-day candlestick is ultimately the best judge of that. So if we can get the one-day candlestick to close above 42,200, that would be a positive step in the right direction. But we can't close over 43,000. We still have that potential issue. All right. Anyways, midterm's telling us we're potentially bullish, which I would agree. It does look like it's making higher highs and tentative higher lows. So not all bad. Looking at the 1 hour, we can see, of course, here, though, with Ichimoku Cloud, we do have these traditional buy signals, right? And that's what this big push from the 1 hour did for us. So I like the fact that we're above the cloud, conversion lines over the baseline, lagging span is free and clear of any price action. I just don't love this resistance level here that's causing the price to stay where it's at. Again, this could be a bull trap. We never truly know. We're going to find out here soon in 24 hours. But there's a lot of conflicting information, so to speak, where the macro doesn't look so great, but the midterm and the micro looks better. Okay, I'd much rather trust the macro than the midterm in the smaller time frame, so to speak. But this does tell us there could be a potential shift in momentum, right? And we got to kind of respect that. Just note that this push is getting stopped out so far, but there is some volume accumulating right around this range here. So we can see that roughly 41,800 could essentially be the the tentative support level in the most recent 4 or 3 trading days. Well, that's about 3 trading days. Let's go back a little further. Yeah, we still have a lot of volume accumulation around 41.8. This is good as well. Basically, it just implies the likelihood of it coming down below that is lower. We're starting to build a foundation around 42.2. So again, some positive stuff there. So I would say to keep it simple, I'm bullish on the short term, but the long term, not so much. And again, we just need confirmation to see that. We have confirmation on the 1 hour, we have confirmation on the 4 hour, so to speak. It's just tentative for the moment, right? Again, shorter time frames yield smaller, shorter results. Okay. In order for us to get that big push to the upside, we're going to need to have a break above 43,000 for starters in the 1-day chart. We also need to see a break above 46, which is, I think, a little lofty for the moment until we get there, right? So we can continue to make higher highs and higher lows in the 4 hour. That's important. I think that's probably our next major thing to pay attention to. But ultimately, I don't know. I'm still not convinced. I'm going to feel a lot better after tomorrow is done and over with, because there's a lot of nonsense that occurs with these news situations, right? So I would say once the traditional trading day closes, we will have a pretty good firm understanding of what's going to happen with the market moving forward, and if we're going to see a sell-off or not. If we don't sell off to say down to about, we don't start making lower highs and lower lows on the short term tomorrow, then I think we're in pretty good shape to see this continue to the upside, okay? Yes, we got some key level resistances, but we can obviously find and discover that there's a lot of volume support in this general range here. All right, let's take one last look here and see where the most amount of volume is. Yeah, again, reiterating the fact that 42,000 is pretty strong support, or becoming a strong support based on volume alone. And the more time we spend above that, the better. So ultimately, 42 could become a new support level. And if that is the case, we'll start working our way up with more volume and more potential with higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so again, that's kind of where we're at here for now. That's all I really have to summarize. I would just be cautiously optimistic for tomorrow, and then I would say in about 28 hours from right now, essentially, when the market closes, we're going to be in pretty good shape there to see what's going on ultimately. Right now, I think this success is tentative. Just keep that in mind. We're not totally good, but hey, celebrate the small stuff, right? A lot of good coins right now are taking off. Hopefully you can take maybe a little bit of profit. I would maybe recommend that. And then consider taking some of those profits, set it aside in case the price comes down lower tomorrow, right? There's nothing wrong with taking profits. You got to get into the mindset of that. And I teach that in my trading academy as well, how important it is to take profits at the right time, and obviously to ensure that you're not being super greedy depending on the type of position you're holding. All right, day trades, swing trades, they're all different, and you need to kind of make sure that you wear separate hats, so to speak, based on the type of trades you're taking. Anyways, I cover all that. I'll be looking forward to getting to know you better if you want to decide to join my trading community. But more importantly, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for your continued support. I deeply appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next one. Have a good one. Take care.